Hey there, welcome back to your Mental Journey Guide. Today, we're diving into something that might completely shift how you think about getting successful. Here's a question for you. What if I told you that doing just one push-up could be more powerful than planning to do 50? Sounds crazy, right? Today, we're exploring the fascinating world of mini habits. First, I'll walk you through the science behind why our brains respond so well to tiny actions. Then, I'll give you the blueprint to start implementing these micro changes in your own life today. Trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll see why thinking smaller might be the biggest breakthrough you've been waiting for. It starts with a fundamental truth about being human. You have limited time and energy. This isn't a personal failing, it's biology. Your brain operates like a smartphone battery. Throughout the day, almost everything costs energy. When you're running on low energy, those ambitious goals you set, they become mountains you simply can't climb. This is where most people get stuck. They think they need more motivation, more discipline. But here's what the research actually shows us. They reveal that our willpower operates like a muscle. It gets fatigued with use. When we demand too much from ourselves, we literally exhaust our capacity for self-control. Let's think about this scenario. You decide you want to exercise more, so you commit to working out for an hour every day. Day 1 goes great. Day 2, you're tired, but you push through. Day 3, you skip it because you had a long day. Day 4 becomes day 5, then day 6. Before you know it, you've given up entirely. This isn't about lacking willpower. It's about how your brain processes overwhelming tasks. When something feels too big, your brain literally activates its threat detection system. It sees that hour-long workout as a threat to your current energy reserves. This is where mini habits come in. A mini habit is an extremely small, achievable version of what you actually want to do. We're talking ridiculously small. 1 push-up, reading 1 page, meditating for 2 minutes, flossing 1 tooth. Your brain doesn't perceive these as threats. In fact, they're so small that your resistance mechanisms don't even activate. You bypass the internal negotiation that usually happens with bigger goals. Now, this is important. After completing each mini habit, you immediately celebrate. And I mean immediately. Say, "I'm awesome," do a little dance, give yourself a mental high five. This isn't silly, it's neurological reinforcement. Your brain releases dopamine when you celebrate, creating a positive association with the behavior. This makes you more likely to repeat it tomorrow. Remember, we're working with your brain's natural wiring, not against it. And here's something crucial to understand. You probably already know how to exercise, how to read, how to meditate. The challenge isn't knowledge, it's consistency. Mini habits train your brain to make these behaviors automatic through repetition. Think of it like learning to drive. At first, you consciously think about every action. Check mirrors, signal, brake smoothly. But eventually, these actions become unconscious. That's what we're creating with mini habits. Let me paint you a picture with a real-world story. Olivia, she wanted to start learning Spanish. She'd tried before, setting aside 30 minutes each morning to study vocabulary and grammar. It lasted exactly 4 days before her schedule got crazy and she abandoned it completely. When she discovered mini habits, she committed to learning just 1 Spanish word each morning, 1 word, after her coffee, before checking emails. That's it. After 3 weeks, something interesting happened. She started naturally looking up related words and phrases, not because she forced herself, but because she was already there, phone in hand, in the flow state. 6 months later, Olivia was having basic conversations with Spanish-speaking colleagues. Not through force or discipline, but through the compound effect of showing up consistently with something impossibly small. Here's another example that really drives this point home. Liam wanted to learn piano, but felt overwhelmed by the commitment. Instead of practicing for an hour, he committed to playing just one chord progression after dinner, 3 minutes maximum. After 2 months, he was naturally extending these sessions because he was already at the piano, already in the musical mindset. Now, let's get into the practical side of things. How can you start using this today? Behavior happens when 3 elements converge: motivation, ability, and a trigger. The formula is B equals MAT. Most people focus on motivation, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Instead, we're going to focus on ability and triggers. Of course, there is inner motivation, which is strong and long-lasting, but many habits reinforce it, making you even more capable of doing what you truly want to do. The most powerful triggers are behaviors you already do consistently. Think about your existing routines. After you brush your teeth, after you pour your morning coffee, after you sit down at your desk, after you check your phone in the morning, after you turn on your computer, after you walk through your front door. These existing behaviors become anchors for your new mini habits. They're already automatic, so they provide the perfect launching pad. Here's where most people go wrong. They make their mini habit too big. If you want to start learning a language, don't commit to studying for 20 minutes. Commit to learning one word. If you want to start drawing, don't start with completing a sketch. Start with drawing one circle. The key is making it so small that you can't fail. So small that even on your worst day, you can still do it. Remember, we're building the habit first. The results will follow. Let's say you choose, after I brush my teeth, I will floss one tooth. The moment you finish flossing that one tooth, you celebrate. This positive reinforcement is crucial for building the neural pathway. But here's something important I want you to remember. This isn't about creating another item on your to-do list that becomes a source of stress. Be compassionate with yourself. If you miss a day, that's okay. You're human. Simply return to it the next day without judgment. Mini habits work because they follow Newton's first law. Objects in motion stay in motion. Once you start that one push-up, you often naturally do more. Once you read that one page, you frequently continue reading. But here's the crucial part. You never have to do more. The one push-up is enough. The one page is enough. This removes the pressure and makes the habit sustainable. If you're someone who struggles with procrastination, mini habits are particularly powerful. Take something you've been putting off. Maybe it's organizing your finances, starting that creative project, or decluttering your living space. Make it so small that starting becomes inevitable. Instead of organize my finances, try open my banking app. Instead of learn photography, try take one photo with better lighting. The hardest part is always starting. Mini habits remove that barrier. Here are some practical examples you can start today. For fitness, try one push-up after using the bathroom. For reading, commit to one page after your morning coffee. For mindfulness, take 3 deep breaths after sitting at your desk. For creativity, sketch one simple shape after lunch. For learning, practice one new vocabulary word after dinner. For organization, put one item in its proper place before bed. Remember, these aren't goals you're trying to achieve. They're systems you're installing. The magic happens through consistency, not intensity. You know what? I'm genuinely excited for you, because you now have a tool that works with your brain's natural tendencies instead of against them. You understand that success isn't about grand gestures or superhuman discipline. It's about showing up consistently with something small. In our previous episode, we talked about keystone habits, those powerful behaviors that naturally trigger positive changes in other areas of your life. Mini habits are the perfect way to install these keystone habits. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, I highly recommend going back to check it out, as it provides the perfect foundation for what we've covered today. You're not broken if you've struggled with habits before. You weren't using the right approach. Now you have a method that's backed by behavioral science and designed for real humans living real lives. Next time, we'll be diving into energy balance, how to manage your mental and physical energy throughout the day to maximize your effectiveness. This connects perfectly with mini habits because when you understand your energy patterns, you can time your mini habits for maximum success. I want you to remember to be gentle with yourself as you implement this. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about building a sustainable relationship with growth and change. So here's your challenge. Pick one mini habit. Just one. Make it so small it feels almost silly. Choose your trigger and start tomorrow. I believe in you, and I believe in the power of small actions to create extraordinary transformations. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to follow the podcast for more insights on your mental journey. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every oak tree was once an acorn. And every transformation starts with a single, small action. Until next time, keep taking those small steps forward. You've got this.